friends, and welcome back to my channel, and hello to all of my new friends as well. Oh my god, my last video brought in so many new viewers. What the heck, man? It literally brought in like 12,000 more of you who subscribed to my channel, which is so crazy. So thank you so much for subscribing. If you are not already and you're watching one of my videos for the first time right now, I would love if you would go down and hit that subscribe button. Man, we're about to hit 400K. Oh my god, that's so crazy to say. That was a rhyme. Ah, I'm on cloud 9 right now, man. I got my coffee. I'm like hype about this story I'm about to tell you. So the reason I wanted to make this is because one, in my last video that I just uploaded, I was talking about like dress codes and how it's hard to go braless with dress codes because people just like shame women's bodies, and that just really annoys me. And I was like, hey, if you want to see a whole video of me kind of telling my story times of my dress code problems in middle school and high school, give this video a thumbs up. And you guys were all like, woohoo, so here we are. Also, I'm not in high school anymore, but I know that a lot of you are, so I kind of just wanted to make this to be like, hey, you're not alone. I ran into the same issues back in the day. And also, I really just wanted to make this video to kind of like take a stand with my platform, use it for good, and say, hey, school system, maybe the way you're going about your dress code is kind of insane when girls are feeling body shamed and ridiculed by their teachers and sometimes their peers, and just everybody, like all of the authority figures at my school always just made me feel very little compared to them when it came to dress code. And they would just kind of like expose me in really weird ways in front of the whole class and like put me on display almost, and it always just made me feel so shitty. And I honestly just think that the way that most school systems treat dress code is really just absurd and kind of demeaning more towards women than it is towards boys. Like the boys are the ones just being like, oh, we're just looking at girls' legs and looking at girls' chests, you know? That's what administrators are telling you. They're like, oh, you gotta dress because, you know, the male gaze. You gotta dress for the male gaze, all right? You gotta cover up your shoulders, they're probably gonna distract the boy next to you from taking his test. So maybe just cover them up next time. You know, you're really just distracting the whole class. Oh my god, I just need to get into these stories now and end my little rant there. But you guys know where I'm going with this. Basically what I'm trying to say is let's teach men to start respecting women and not teach women to start covering up because men don't respect women, you know? That's my little summary there. So let's start with the first time I ever really thoroughly remember getting like ridiculed for dress code. So this was in middle school, and this was shortly after I had gotten suspended for threatening to kill one of my friends via like a note. I like drew a picture threatening to kill her. It's a long story that I actually did a story time on, so if you want to watch that, I'll link it up here, folks. But basically my vice principal, after she like gave me my suspension and everything like that, she just hated me. Like she thought I was a bad kid, you know, I'd gotten in trouble. She always had her eyes on me whenever I walked past her. So basically I had felt her gaze on me throughout the whole entire lunch period. And then when I was filing out with my class to go back to my regular classes, she basically pulled me aside, and by aside, I mean she pulled me in front of the whole entire cafeteria. So basically how my middle school was set up in the cafeteria was there was tables on this side, and then you had like aisles in the middle for the lunch lines and stuff like that. And the administration would stand in the center and kind of just like watch over everybody and like mediate the premises. It's crazy, it's like prison, right? So anywho's, I was walking out, you know, passing by the administration, and Miss In was her name. She was like, Megan, you gotta come over here. And I don't know about at your school, but whenever somebody gets like pulled into the center of a room, all eyes are on them. So that's basically what happened. And this is just the first distinct memory that I have of like getting called out for dress code, especially because it was kind of more like a public ridicule type situation, you know? That just kind of scarred me, I guess, because I still remember it to this day. So yeah, she was basically just kind of like pointing at me in front of my whole grade and just being like, this is wrong and this is wrong and why are you wearing this and what were you thinking? And I was just like, I'm sorry, Miss In, like I didn't, I just liked this dress, okay? Like when you're getting dressed in the morning and you have a bomb ass dress that you're gonna wear that day, especially in middle school, you're not like, oh, I'm gonna get dress coded for this. You just put it on, you know, and you mind your own business. So that's what I was doing, but she was not having it. So like I said, that was the first time that I ever got, you know, like in trouble for it. But she didn't make me change or anything. But I do remember that if our shorts were too short or something like that, we would have to change into like basketball shorts and a gray t-shirt. And if boys' pants were sagging, they had to like zip tie their pants higher on their waist and literally wear a zip tie around them for the whole entire day. So yeah, that's what my middle school was like. I don't know about yours. Leave me a comment down below what your school's rules were, because they always just got more and more absurd by the year. So then when I got to high school, it just kind of got worse from that point on, because I just found my, you know, sense of style, and I would just wear whatever the heck I wanted to school. And it wasn't even really to like spite administration or be like, oh, I'm not dressing towards dress dress code. It was just what I wanted to wear, and I knew it wasn't inappropriate, and so I would wear things that I liked. Sorry. And I have about 3 stories of this one teacher. Her name is Miss Raji. And I'm not using like incognito names for this because Miss Raji literally hated me so much. She was so blatant about it. She used to just like drag me 24/7. So this is me getting the chance to drag her for all of you right now. So basically math was never my forte, right? So I was moved from the back of the class where my friends were sitting to the front seat of the class, right in front of her eyes, right in front of the chalkboard. So one day I was sitting front row just watching her teach the lesson, just minding my own business, and she literally turns around from the chalkboard and looks at me and stares straight down at my boobs and just like waited. And I was like writing something and I looked up and I noticed her staring at me, and the whole entire class was staring at me, and I was like, what? And she was like, Megan, do you think you could just, and was literally like motioning me to like yank up my shirt. Like she wasn't being subtle about it, you know? She was just like, you just need to, you know? And I was like, okay. And so then I just like inched it up a little bit, and then she like turned around and kept, you know, going away at her chalkboard. So that was the first time that she ever like did that to me in front of the class, and I never said anything to her after that. You know, I already knew she hated me. I wasn't about to beef up with her. And then I really started to kind of start fighting back when she kept doing it. So there was this one time before we took a test, right? And this was still in the same class, still the same woman dragging me. So I got up and I was wearing these patterned shorts. They were like a cotton, you know, like tie around the waist type short. Like they were just fabric, and they kind of righted up my butt when I stood up, I guess. But the thing is, and let it be known, they were fingertip length. I definitely checked before I left the house that morning. And she was one of my later periods in the day, and no other teacher had commented on them except her. So basically, I stood up, right, to get a calculator, and the whole entire room was silent. And I was walking over there, and she goes, Megan, don't you think those shorts are a little distracting? And that literally gives everybody in the room an invitation to look at my ass, you know, and see how distracting the shorts are. And so I waited until it was only me and her in the room, like the normal person that I am. You know, when you have confrontation or something to say to somebody, you should wait until it's just them, you know? It's just you and them, not embarrassing them in front of a whole entire class, because that is not cool to do to a high schooler. Like, people care, you know? Kids care. So when I turned in my test, I looked at her and I was like, why did you do that to me? And she was like, do what, honey? And I was like, you literally called me out in front of the whole entire class for my shorts, saying that they were distracting. You could have waited until right now when I turned in the test to, you know, say something to me or tell me that my shorts were distracting, or just suggest that I don't wear them again. You know, you didn't have to encourage everybody to like look at me and see how short my shorts were. And her excuse was literally this. She said, I had to make an example of you because I needed all the other girls in the class to know that they should never wear something that short to school. And I was like, oh, so you had to make an example of me. Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, well, just don't do it again, because, you know, I just felt really uncomfortable and kind of attacked. So thank you. And then I just like left. And that wasn't even the last time that she like ridiculed me in front of the class that year. I remember we did this like project outside one day. We had some assignment to do like in the stadium. And so we were walking from, you know, the class to the stadium, and I just knew that she was staring at my shorts the entire day, like waiting for the moment to just drag me, you know, as she always did. And she literally waited until all of us were silent in a line, like walking outside, to be like, Megan, yeah, never wear those shorts again, by the way, thanks. Like, this woman did not let my message go through her head. She did not care. She was like, oh, I remember when she told me not to ridicule her anymore. Yeah, I'm gonna do it again. And yeah, those are pretty much the only stories that I can remember, and I know that they're not even that bad, and I'm sure that a lot of you have, you know, horror stories of your own. So I really wanted to make this so that you guys can comment your stories down below, and we can just bond over the fact that the school system is just really crazy with their dress code problems. And also, I don't want this video to come off me being like, oh, there just shouldn't be a dress code at all, you know? Like, I believe in there being a set dress code. My main point that I just want to get across in this video is I feel like teachers could go about this in such a different way than publicly ridiculing their students. And also, being a girl, it makes you feel so much more insecure about your body, because you're like, what? Like, do people really look at me like that because my cleavage is showing a little bit? Like, stop body shaming 2016, please. Oh my God. Ugh. Just the way that all school systems go about dress code is shaming people in every aspect. It's shaming girls and teaching them to just, you know, cover up their bodies, and it's shaming boys too. It's like, oh, they don't care about anything but looking at your shoulders and looking at your chest. Like, What? They're distracted by your thighs. Boys can't keep their eyes off of you. Like, what the fuck? Boys don't even care. The system is just very backwards and it's very stupid, and I just felt the need to like say something about it. Now that I'm thinking about it, I think I actually wrote an essay about either like slut shaming or body shaming or something, and I want to say that it's still in my Google Drive, so I'll totally link that essay down below because I've shared it with you guys before a couple years ago. I totally remember that. So if you ever get a chance to write some kind of persuasive essay about your school's dress code, please take the chance to do that, because I feel like school systems just don't understand. Like, they just don't know, you know? So just let your administration know that you're over it, you're over the ridicule. I just wish you luck with this school year and everything that falls into it. Give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Like I said, leave a comment down below on your kind of dress code shenanigans stories. I would love to hear them. And also don't forget to subscribe if you are not already. I would love to have you as part of my little family on here, and I make videos every single Wednesday. So yeah, join the club. All right, I'm just gonna keep chattering if I don't end this video off now. So I'll see you in my next one. Bye, stay smiling. Stay smiling through the school year, okay? I believe in you.
Please tell me why you always leave. Why you would? Please tell me why you always leave. Please.